Okay, so today we are going to focus on political speeches. Now, do you all remember we talked about speeches yesterday? You remember speech? So we talked about speeches and monologues yesterday. But this was more focused on, right, like the Lord of the Rings. So the speeches from the movie and some parts from the book, right? So today we're going to talk about political speeches, and those are a little bit different, and I'll get into more detail about that. And then, so we're going to talk about political speeches. We're going to look at some speeches. I'm going to especially look at Ronald Reagan's speech. We're going to read it, and then we're going to watch and listen to it. You need to watch and listen, okay? And then after that, we're going to talk about a word web. A word web like this one. So in a word web, we have all these different things, and we'll talk about that later, okay? So after you write your word web, we're going to create our own political speech from the word web. So we're going to make some of our own word webs, and then you're going to create your own word web about a speech you want to talk about. So mine is about the bees becoming endangered. So you could talk about something like that, okay? It's anything you want to talk about. Anything. As long as there's a purpose to it, and as long as there's a way, like if there's a problem in the world. So my political speech is more about the bees being endangered and what we can do to help with climate, and what we can all do to help with climate change. Okay? Or what you can also do it, or what you think your government can do to help with something. Okay? So then for homework, going to read and watch Martin Luther King Jr.'s speech. You can either watch it first, and I have a link to it, and I will send that to you. And then also you're going to read it. It's in your textbooks. Okay? So the political speech is in your textbooks, and I want you to write notes while you're watching it, and I also want you to write notes while you're listening to it. I'm really excited to see what you think about it, okay? And there is a survey for SurveyMonkey that I want you to answer questions about the homework, okay? And also about SurveyMonkey, as we're talking about SurveyMonkey, I want you to get your cell phones out. I want to see your cell phones up. Okay, so I want you to open up your email. Open up your email. I'll give you a couple of seconds. And in your email, you should see that I have sent you some emails about some assignments. So first one is, it's going to be about SurveyMonkey. SurveyMonkey is, it's a website to ask certain questions or survey questions. I can't see who answered the questions, and I want to see what your answers are. So I want to see what kind of answers you give. Also, Google Docs is on there. Google Docs, and I have links to Google Docs. So who has an account with Google Docs? Okay, not everyone has an account with Google Docs, but that is okay. That's okay. We can work with that. I can help you make an account, and then we'll open it up. Who has their cell phone? I think, okay, only 2 people don't have their cell phone today, and that is okay. You can get with a partner for majority of it, or I want you to get out a piece of paper and make your own word web today. But that's later on. That's later on. We don't have to worry about it right now, okay? So I want you all to put your phones back down and look up at the board, and we're going to talk about the Ronald Reagan speech. We're going to read it first, okay? So let's do that. Okay, now that we've worked on the speech, I want to look at the word web. So here is what a word web looks like. This is my word web, and it's about bees being endangered, as I said earlier. So the whole point of a word web is to organize your thoughts and to help you write your speech. So if you're like, I don't know what to do, which a lot of students can be like, So a lot of students are like, I don't know. So the first thing to do is to write a main idea. Write a main idea. And if you don't know really what you want to talk about, you can come to me later. We'll talk about some things you can talk about if you want. And this is a way to talk about something you're passionate about. So maybe you have an issue with the economy within your country, or you have an issue with the economy from another country and you want to talk about it. This is a great way to do it. I have an issue with that the bees are endangered. So I said the bees are endangered and we need to help. So after the main idea, you're going to create some bubbles around it. And this is where you add the details. This is where you can just add whatever you want, and you can add more bubbles if you want. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the why. So there are a lot of questions to answer within a political speech. It's a lot like an argumentative essay, except you can add more personal aspects to it, and you can write personal stories. And then you also have to find a solution. So you have to find a solution to what is going on. So you have to ask who, what, when, where, why, how. So we're going to start with why. So as you can see, I put why, and then I put agriculture, parasites, and climate change, because those are the biggest reasons why the bees are endangered. Then underneath that, you can see I put agriculture, parasites, and climate change. And within those bubbles, you can add more details. I didn't really add any more because this is an example, but if I was actually going to write this, I would research agriculture. So I'd research agriculture within that country, or within all of the world. Okay, you're gonna research like how agriculture, and you can use different examples from different countries. Next one, what happened? What happened? So this is where I would put the statistics. So I would put numbers plummeted by 87%. And as you can see, I put that, and then I put more detail. So you can go into more statistics. And I love statistics. If you can prove anything with statistics, I will love you forever. So that's a good one. Next one. When were they declared endangered? This is a very good one. It says 2017, and it says more details. So this is where you can add more details of when they were declared endangered. After that, we have, what can we do? What can we do? And I put bee garden and shop responsibly. This is when you make more bubbles. So you see where I'm going with this? You make more bubbles and you go into more detail. You can add as many bubbles as you want. You can add an infinite, good word, infinite number of bubbles. Okay, so after we do this, so we've just gone over this, I want you all to open up your email in your phone, and I want you to look up the Google Docs link, and you should find the word web. That I have put in here. And it should say example word web, and it should look like this in your phone. Okay? So let's all do that. I'm going to be checking around in a second, okay? So let me go check around to see if you all have it, and then we'll get started. Okay?